morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at Eevee Heroes. You see, lately, ladies and gentlemen, I've been telling you a bunch of really good stuff about the Pokemon trading card game over in Japan. I've been telling you that sets that used to be very hard to get hold of, VMAX Climax being a brilliant example, has all of a sudden, it's just been restocked over and over again, and at least in Japan, has actually become pretty easy to pick up at retail, which was not the case when it came out, and this is brilliant. I've been telling you about recent sets like Battle Region, and how they are now pretty easy to pick up, and you can pick these up for retail and below pretty easily in Japan. You can get them imported in from Japan to places like the UK for much, much cheaper than we used to a little while ago. And this is all looking pretty good. But while I was doing a bunch of research over the weekend, it became apparent that actually there was one exception to this. And the exception is Eevee Heroes. And to be perfectly blunt with you, ladies and gentlemen, Eevee Heroes has, it's not calmed down, ladies and gentlemen. Eevee Heroes has not calmed down at all. Eevee Heroes has, quite frankly, gone a bit nuts. So if we head on over to the Pokemon Center over in Japan, I told you that there are some sets at the moment which are just in stock. I showed you that VMAX Climax was in stock over at the Pokemon Center, and you could buy up to 5 boxes of it, which was kind of cool. And I showed you that Battle Region was also in stock over on the Pokemon Center, and alright, they limited you to buying 2 of them, but still, that ain't too bad, ladies and gentlemen. That ain't too bad at all. Eevee Heroes, on the other hand, unfortunately, things are a little bit different with Eevee Heroes. For what it's worth, at the time of recording, the in-stock and set limits for both VMAX Climax and Battle Region are exactly the same. You can still go and buy them in the same quantities you could the other day. But if we take a look at Eevee Heroes, I mean, it's not even showing up. Like, if I go and take a little bit of a look at the available sets, you will notice that Eevee Heroes isn't even on the list. It's been taken off the list, and then partly that's because it's a little bit older, but partly it's because they're just not restocking it. That set is gone. If we head on over to Amazon Japan, where I've shown you that a bunch of these sets are available for pretty reasonable prices, that is still the case. But it's not the case with Eevee Heroes. Eevee Heroes, unfortunately, I mean, it's there, it's Amazon, right? Everything's on Amazon. Everything is available on Amazon. But it's just down to how much you're actually willing to pay. And although there aren't any sellers that will ship to the UK, if I go and put in my Japanese proxy address, I can buy this for as little as 16,600 yen. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, that is a lot. A booster box should cost 4,950 yen, so this is more than treble retail. And fine, at this point it is a slightly older set, blah blah blah, I get it. But this is Sword and Shield 6A. If we have a look at Sword and Shield 6, which was, well, you had both Silver Lance and Jet Black Poltergeist, and Jet Black Poltergeist was largely considered to be the best of them, or the better of them, you can get Jet Black Poltergeist for 8,500 yen. So I don't want to hear anything about, oh, well, you know, it's an older set, because if we go one set older, we're paying like half. It's just Eevee Heroes going absolutely nuts. So, I think at this stage, I like to think I've shown quite conclusively that trying to buy boxes of Eevee Heroes is kind of expensive and kind of ridiculous and not the kind of thing you're going to do. But what's the I hear you shout? That's all right. We'll just buy singles. I would like to just buy singles. For me, there is one single from Eevee Heroes which really does jump out above the others. It is the Hayaganosuke Leafeon. That's the one that I want. Because, quite frankly, I have started collecting Hayaganosuke cards. I'm not fighting it anymore. I adore that artist style, so I need to go and collect them. And there are some out there which are really cool, but not that expensive. The Pikachu from Celebrations that lovely promo, which was just in the set in Japan and over in Hong Kong and Taiwan, but was a promo over here, yeah, that's fine. It's a cool card, but it's just not terribly expensive. It will be all right. Unfortunately, the Leafeon V Max, yeah, that is in the set. And let's just say that at the moment, looking at my current finances, trying to get a copy of that Leafeon V Max is slightly out of my range, I think is a euphemistic way to put it. Here is a random shop over in Japan. DS Nippon Bashi is a good one to follow over on Twitter. And you can see from this graphic that they are currently selling this Leafeon V Max for 19,700 yen. That's quite a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. That's quite a lot of money. Now, if we go and convert that into pounds, you are talking £120 or thereabouts. And if we convert it into dollars, you're talking about $160. And I'm not here to tell you that, it's super cheap over here, but the fact of the matter is, one of them sold the other day for $112.50, which is, shall we say, quite a lot less. So, yeah. These singles are quite expensive. But the thing is, Leafeon isn't the big chase card from the set. It is for me. For me, the Leafeon is the one that I'm after, but that's not the one for most people. The generally considered chase card from that set is your Umbreon V Max, which is being sold at the same store for 54,700 yen. Or if we go and put it into, currencies with which we're more familiar, £335 or $435, which is absolutely ridiculous. That is a huge amount of money. And again, Umbreon is quite an expensive card over here, don't get me wrong, but the most recent one that sold over on eBay was $313. Cheap? Heck no. Very expensive. But you're talking $120 less than they're charging in shops over in Japan, so yeah. That is quite a lot, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen. That is quite a lot. And this is what I'm saying about Eevee Heroes. We are getting to the point now where trying to buy singles is extremely difficult. But then, by the same token, trying to buy boxes is extremely difficult. So we end up in this awkward situation where we can't really buy very much of anything in terms of Eevee Heroes unless we are really willing to spend over the odds, which is absolutely doable, don't get me wrong, but let's just say you are going to be paying for it, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to be paying for it. If you want another couple of examples before we finish up here, the Sylveon VMAX. Now, these are buy prices from DS Nippon Bashi, not sell prices, so you'll see that they are slightly lower, but the Sylveon is currently being bought for 33,000 yen, which, is kind of ridiculous. So you're talking £200 or $260 with a bit of rounding, and that's the you walk into the shop right now and they'll buy it for you, as long as it's in good nick, no questions asked, and that's a little bit ridiculous. As a side note, the Umbreon is 51,000 and the Leafeon is 18,000, and remember, they were being sold for just a teensy bit above that, so, these are rough prices, but they are a little bit higher. We can also take a quick look at the Glaceon. That's the other one that's on there. That's being bought for 21,000 yen, which is not quite as high as the others, I suppose. But 21,000 yen, you're still talking 130 quid or $170, again, with a little bit of rounding. And they're buy prices. They're going to sell them for a little bit more again. Although at this stage, it is worth pointing out just nice and quickly, remember that the Espeon was not in the Japanese set. That was in its own box. And remember that the Gen 1 VMAXs, your Vaporeon, your Jolteon, and your Flareon, were done by some weird kind of lottery system. So you had to go and do a little report of a game you played over summer, and then they would potentially select you to get the trio of them. They were extremely hard to get hold of over in Japan. So these are different, all right? These are not quite the same. They don't count. They're not part of the set proper. Those ones are missing. But to put it very bluntly, Eevee Heroes over in Japan has gone a little bit nuts. This is the rare example of a set that was very difficult to get hold of at the time, but just never kind of fixed itself. Something like VMAX Climax was extremely difficult to get hold of initially, but then it all got sorted, and now you can pick it up nice and cheap. Eevee Heroes never went particularly cheap, and now, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it might be a little bit too late. To which I can only say, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you got your orders in when you could. For me, I did actually open 3 boxes of Eevee Heroes, but I didn't actually open any of the alternate arts, which, now looking at this, makes me even sadder. Hey-ho. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know if you were able to pick any of this up initially. I want to know if you're trying to pick any of these up in the future. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.